Hello, Rob. How you doing?
Hey, Michael, I'm great.
It's May 2nd, Sunday, day 17 of the walk.
Oh, yes, this is amazing. It's both gone by in a flash and it seems to be taken, it's like every day is just blended together. Every day is just walk day, walk day.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, like how time must be changing. Like sometimes it's like it's going fast and other times maybe feeling lonely. I don't know.
Well, it's, I haven't been feeling lonely, but like the time has been strange because I'm like, hang on, that was 3 days ago. There's different things happen like that. Like going through pictures to put on my website and just lose track of what day I took that photo kind of thing. It's amazing how it's all kind of blurring together. There's been so many things happening. It's been quite myriad stories. I don't even know how to summarize. There's been joys and pains and a lot of amazing stuff.
Well, can you share a few of them? Maybe start with the joys.
Yeah, some joys, like just now having talked to a guy at an Italian restaurant who, he was just asking about the walk, and he's like, really, from Yokohama? Oh my gosh, kind of thing. So it was neat to like see my bag is trying not to come with me. So see the smile spread across his face, from car coming. It's not completely a lonely road. So to see the smile, we'll hear her. I was walking from Yokohama. He's like, wow, hontoni, wow. So it's cool. So like my imagination is that, it may be inspiring to him or to other people to do other interesting things.
Yeah, to take on in their life, maybe.
Yeah. But the most amazing thing, it's like a combined scary, amazing thing. We went through a 1.2 kilometer long tunnel that was right after, where was that? See, I'm getting lost again in the thing. It's like day 12 or something. We were at Lodge Momtoze in the north of Naiba area. And the owner was like, there's no way around the tunnel except through the tunnel. There's no reasonable way to climb the mountain and go over. And he offered to drive us through the tunnel. And I was like, because there was not that much traffic on the road. I was like, we'll be okay. So we walked through the tunnel, walk. And after a bit, it was scary when cars would come by, but it wasn't that many cars. And when like a little bit more than halfway through the tunnel, there were windows on the side of the tunnel. I was like, excuse me, how did you get windows on the side of a tunnel, ostensibly inside a mountain?
So does it look out to under the mountain, or does it look out?
No, it was looking out into like a tree area, like a valley between two mountains.
I see. Interesting.
And I started taking pictures through the windows, like trying to see out there. It's very dirty windows. Someone should come clean those windows. And then we walked a bit further, and then there's two giant doors leading outside into the valley. And it was just like a magical experience, like going from tunnel under the mountain to these doors leading into a valley between the mountains. And there was water in the stream. There's an area we could camp. I'm sure very few people go through that area. We could probably camp there for a week and nobody would know. And it's like, wow, that's a cool little magical paradise. in next to the tunnel, there's like a death trap with trucks driving by. And it was like, wow. So I'm so glad we chose to walk through. Otherwise, we would have missed those two giant doors, would have like driven right by them.
So those doors
So-
are made in case someone does actually walk through the tunnel, I guess.
Wait, say it again?
So those doors were made for those who choose to walk the tunnel.
Yeah. Well, they were doors leading to, they were like 4 meters tall each. And like a truck could drive through them, a small truck. And there was a road like going up, winding up into the valley area. So it was a road, and I'm sure the doors don't close very often, but we would have missed them had we driven through the tunnel.
Right. Wow.
So yeah, it was really, really cool.
So you said so you're walking with someone?
Oh yeah, so my friend Jason joined. Let me get some water on my camera. My friend Jason joined in Shibukawa,
Nice.
and he's been shy to be on camera, but
It's great.
we're gonna walk nearly all the way. He's gonna jump off the trail on May 7th, I think. So he's walking about half the distance.
Awesome. So it gives you some company.
Yeah. And I've seen interesting things that, like, I don't know if you can see easily, there's a pond here,
Mhm.
and then there's flowing water next to it. And it's just all this snow melt runoff through the Konnichiwa. There's 2 kids on the little 2-wheel skateboards. That's cool. I've always wanted to be able to ride those. I haven't figured out how to ride those yet. I've tried it for like 10 minutes one time. The 2-wheel skateboard.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're seeing like I'm not familiar with like mountainous areas or snowy areas, so I'm getting some of both in this case to see, like in the streets. Check for cars. They have these, like, can you see the holes here?
Yep.
That they apparently like spray or emit some kind of like snow and ice melting chemical. I hate to think what chemical it might be.
I think it's hot water. I think it's like,
I would love if it's just hot water. I kind of doubt it, but
I remember seeing that. I was in Niigata before.
really
In the winter.
cool.
I remember.
So let's just say it's hot water then.
But yeah, maybe there's chemicals too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it's like salt water, but I don't see any like salt deposits nearby. So I'm curious what it actually emits.
Yeah.
But so there's just like stuff I've never seen before. It's really interesting
Yeah.
walking around. Sorry.
And I know, so you had some issues with your feet. You had to wear shoes for a while. Are you still wearing shoes? Or have you done-
No, I'm barefoot now.
Oh.
And back to barefoot because the sidewalks here are basically nice and fine. For a while, we like the most challenging day was the first time that we encountered a tunnel, we decided to like walk around it, like not knowing that we probably could have made it through the tunnel. It took 6 hours to walk around it, and it was tough going with dangerous rocks and like bigger than gravel kind of rocks that were like, I called them like ankle twisting rocks
Oh my
strewn
God.
across the trail. And then all kinds of briars and sticks and sharp things. So I definitely wore shoes for that, but I had already put on, well, sandals. And I was wearing sandals a couple days prior because I just got to a standstill on about day 5 or 6. I just was like in agony with injuries, and the sidewalk itself was agonizing again with all the rocks and glass and like not grass, but like plants sticking up through it. really challenging to walk.
Yeah, you showed
So
me a picture of your toenail when you pulled the shower door
yeah,
after all that walking, you hurt yourself with
yeah,
the shower door. Felt a little
yeah.
bit ironic. That's all that.
Oh yeah. So, and then during that, for that moment though, I had an epiphany. I was like, I have sandals, and I put on my sandals and just like, just started walking again. It was still a bit painful, but because of all the injuries, but it was way better.
So
So
you had some big challenges. Are those some of the bigger challenges, or have you had other challenges?
yeah, that was the like way by far by the barefoot aspect of this was the most challenging bit, and those portions where the like where we're walking now is a neighborhood. There's like houses and there's people, but I was walking through sections where there was no houses. There's just trucks driving by, and there were uh, pee bottles on the side of the road, and it's like rocks and nails and all this horrifying stuff because nobody walked there. And so the sidewalks are just really a disaster compared to like an area where they are kept clean by the community. So
What do you mean by pee bottles?
that's, I almost didn't want to say it. So see like a Wilkinson, like soda bottle that's just like clear when you buy it from the convenience, but it has yellow in it. It's like, hang on, that product isn't yellow. What's this doing here? And then later see another tea bottle that is also yellow. It's like, hang on, this is pee tossed out of the windows of trucks going by. Great. So that was delightful to realize what those were. I was like, oh no.
Have you had great insights or learnings?
Yeah. Like I've been wondering how to like the best way to articulate it, but it's all in the advertising and branding of things. Like on the map, there'll be something like, we have the best blah, blah, blah here in this map in the whole world. And I'm like, wow, I want to go see that. And then I go to it, I'm like, not that good.
Mm.
And so there's been many things that I've been excited to experience or see because I saw them on the map. And it's like, interesting. And so on the flip side, I wonder what things like in my neighborhood are like cool things that I just haven't seen, or like, because the other way around, I missed half the story. There's some things that are not on the map that were amazing, and then I wonder in my neighborhood what things are amazing that I've missed or not yet explored and seen, because we've just come across different cool things that are not labeled anywhere. Like there was I'm going across the street, there's a shrine, like something like this one. Okay, that's cool. And then the one that we saw before had giant pairs of woven sandals, like 8 or 10 different pairs of sandals that were just enormous. And some of the gaita, the wooden shoes with 2 little things for walking in rice fields. They had enormous pairs of those. It's like, wow, that's so funny. So I wonder what things I'm missing in my neighborhood that are not labeled anywhere on the map.
Maybe those are things that people don't think to advertise because for them it's normal.
Yeah, it's just decoration or what have you.
Maybe they don't recognize their own beauty.
Right.
Interesting.
So yeah. Anyway,
I heard something happened. There's a rumor that something happened last Sunday. Can you share what that was?
Oh no, that was the lack of phone day.
All right. That's right.
What happened?
That's right, 'cause we're supposed to have an interview that day.
Right. Yeah. So we skipped that Sunday because I was sounds fun. Oh no, I know the funny thing. I I scheduled out the route pretty carefully, and with the magic of internet and USB, I was able to print maps of the route that I planned to walk. And so I posted it online. I was like, I am walking using maps made of paper. And it's like, ooh, wow, what's this material called paper? You can make a map? Wow. And so it's funny, just kind of go back to old school, which is not that old, and use a paper map to walk. And what was like, here's a shop called Euphoria. Let's say bag and goods, Euphoria. What was super interesting was, given the high resolution of the maps, I was able to print. So like, 200 meters was 1 inch of paper. And I was able to just count footsteps. Count my left steps, 2, 3, 4, and that was just a little bit more than 1 meter per step. And so it was like able to very precisely know right where I am. And even though I was in some Inaka Tokoro with no street names or no anything, the resolution of the map made it trivial to know right where I was. And so it was very fine on that day. I was a bit worried how it would turn out, but by carefully counting my steps, I knew exactly where I was on the paper maps.
Wow.
So it was like, yay, thank you, internet, and all the maps there.
Yeah.
So that was Sunday and Monday as well, actually.
Have you had to walk at nighttime at all, or have you been mostly indoors?
Yeah, a couple of times.
I know
like actually the first day, the day that you and I were hanging out, the second day,
yeah,
I was walking at night in the rain, wearing my yellow vest. So it's a bit scary, but I assume my yellow vest is enough to let people with headlights see me, and I have a lamp as well on my bag that's ready to go at any moment, ready to wear a headlamp.
But other than that, you've been in before dark?
Yeah, basically been done before dark. Dark each day. The walks in the mountains I made too short. I was worried about not being able to make it. But after the first day of like 6 hours in the hills, which was so difficult, we just used the tunnels after that. It was so easy, like incredibly easy, and just had plenty of downtime in the hotel after that, those 3 or 4 days. And there was one more thing I wanted to say about that. We in one case, we were walking next to what they called a snow shed, which was like, there's a highway here and then a roof with like kind of like columns holding the roof up. And so we were walking outside the snow shed because the inside had, like, it was kind of narrow with barriers, and there was a space on the outside that we could walk past. And I'm glad we walked out there because we had great views of the mountains and the valleys, and saw monkeys and saw like different techniques of holding the road onto the mountain, which was neat. And at one point, walking outside a snow shed, this is a different part of the story, but there was a ladder, and I went up the ladder, and there's a giant array of truck tires like laying on top of the of the roof for some reason. Like basically, I guess to keep the snow there and not just like sliding off the roof, because the tires have there's themselves stable and tied down, but they have the holes in the middle that keep the snow in place. So that's my guess, that it prevents a snow from just snow collapsing off the thing, but I don't know why it's there for. But I enjoyed running on the tires. I was like, yeah, I'm walking on tires. And anybody driving below would have 0% chance of knowing that I was up there, because why would they think some crazy guy's on the roof?
The roof of a tunnel?
Yeah, it wasn't a tunnel, but it was like a snow shed is what they were calling it in one case.
Above
Just
the
A
highway.
roof over the highway along the edge of a mountain.
Huh,
So
interesting.
yeah, and then there's a ladder and people can barely see through, like at that speed, can barely see through the columns anyway. And no one's gonna know if I just climb the ladder real quick. So I jump up the ladder. It's like, wow, tires. So I'm about to get to a road that's getting noisier here. I don't know if the audio is okay or not.
Yeah, I mean, I can let you go. It sounds like
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
let me get back off from the road for a second.
Okay. So far, it's good. The sound is good.
Yeah, okay.
But I was just curious too, is that snow year round there in Niigata? Oh, you're not in Niigata yet, but
No, I'm in Niigata for sure.
you're in Niigata.
We've been in Niigata for, this is the second or third day. I didn't notice a sign that says welcome to Niigata. So I don't know when exactly we got into Niigata.
But is that
it is-
year-round snow there?
We've seen some snow, but it's right now raining. It's feels like 10 degrees Celsius right now.
Oh, okay.
In the mountains, there was definitely some patches of snow, but there was not any like on the road or anything. And it was all just had already melted weeks ago. It looked like for sure, but so
Okay.
I haven't had to use my boots yet. I don't expect I will.
Nice. And for people who
Yeah.
want to follow along on your website, can you give your website URL again?
Yep. Yes, robnugent.com, ROBNUGEN.com.
And you're putting updates on it every day, right?
Yeah, I've been posting things every day.
Yeah.
And
See where you are along the trip.
yeah, like updates. It's kind of haphazard when postings go up, but robnugent.com is the main site. And then I've been doing some on Instagram, and I was doing Reddit before, but it's not working out because it just keeps crashing when I do live streams on Reddit. So just Instagram.
All right, well, I'll post this and get more support, and also
Yay, thank you.
for Tell, right?
I couldn't hear that, but I'm going to show you that I'm walking in water. This is where I love being barefoot. I can just splash around in the water
Nice.
because it's fun. What did you say?
Now, you're also asking for donations for Tell, right? TEL.
Yes. That is also on my website as well. Not at the top anymore. What's interesting, I've had lots of donations come in for like 10 yen, 25 yen. And I'm like, I wonder if they meant dollars. And they're sending. So I'm grateful for each one. And
they probably meant dollars.
they probably meant dollars, but oh well.
Wow.
The campaign is ending very soon. So by the time they get their credit card, like, hey, that was only 8 cents.
Yeah.
What happened? It'll be too late, but it's okay.
We'll have to do another 1 or 2 more of these interviews, and do one.
Yes.
At the end. That'd be great.
Yeah, if we wait a week, that'll be the last day, and I maybe it'll be done before I know it.
So the last day is May 8th or May 9th?
It's the 9th, actually. Because of the shorter days in the mountains, I had to extend here. So now we're walking 18 or 20 kilometer days from here on out. So until May 9th, I'll be walking. So 1 more week.
Well, I really appreciate this effort. I think it's
to
good.
the Japan Sea.
I think you're going to.
Better let you go, as I can't hear you anymore.
Okay, no, I was going to say it's very inspirational. So
Oh, thanks, brother.
Thank you, Rob. We'll be in touch.
Nice.
Best of luck.
Okay, be well, Johnny.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye.